And I'll give you the truth why I'm not Speaker. It's because one person, a member of Congress, wanted me to stop an ethics complaint because he slept with a 17-year-old. An ethics complaint that started before I ever became Speaker, and that's illegal, and I'm not going to get in the middle. Did he do it or not? I don't know. But ethics is looking at it. There's other people in jail because of it. And he wanted me to influence it.
Ouch. That was former Speaker Kevin McCarthy lashing out at Florida man, Congressman Matt Gaetz, who cost McCarthy his speakership. And now the feud between the two is reaching new heights as the MAGA civil war continues. Let's discuss. I'm Dave Aronberg, State Attorney for Palm Beach County, AK, the Florida lawman here on the MeidasTouch Network. Thank you for all your likes and your views and comments. I love reading them, so keep them coming. And as far as Kevin McCarthy, well, he's upped his ante in his showdown against Matt Gaetz. He has decided to get involved in Matt Gaetz's re-election campaign. It's not just the spicy rhetoric that you saw at the beginning of this video, where essentially McCarthy's accusing Matt Gaetz of child sex trafficking, but now it's now involving politics, where Gaetz has an opponent because of Kevin McCarthy. This whole thing started back when there was an investigation of Matt Gaetz by the Department of Justice. This was an investigation allegedly of child sex trafficking. Remember, there was a 17-year-old girl who he allegedly found on one of these sugar daddy websites, and then there was an investigation on whether child sex trafficking occurred. But in the end, the Merrick Garland Department of Justice decided there was not enough evidence to prosecute a sitting congressman, and they decided to let it go. Now, after the Department of Justice ended the investigation, the House, controlled by Republicans, restarted its own investigation, its own ethics investigation on some of these same allegations, like that Matt Gaetz allegedly took drugs or had sex with an underage girl or showing new photos on the floor of the House. They were looking at all this stuff. And the reason why this investigation restarted is because Kevin McCarthy hates Matt Gaetz. They've been feuding for some time. Gaetz almost cost McCarthy his speakership from the beginning. And check out this video when Gaetz was still voting against him on one of these many different ballots that came up. It was really embarrassing for McCarthy. Check this out. And Gaetz failed in his attempt to block McCarthy. The deal that McCarthy cut in becoming Speaker was to allow any one member to do what's called a motion to vacate, meaning a motion to get rid of the Speaker. You still need a full vote, but all it takes is one member to call for the vote. And giving the most extreme members of your party that kind of power is a huge mistake. It was, and that's a reason why McCarthy was booted, because Gaetz did the motion to vacate, and he had just enough Republicans to join with all the Democrats to vote McCarthy out. And McCarthy has not forgotten, hence the interview at the beginning of the video. And indeed, according to ABC News, the House Ethics Committee is investigating whether or not Representative Matt Gaetz used illicit drugs as a member of Congress. Multiple sources familiar with the committee's work told ABC News. Committee investigators have inquired about whether Gaetz was under the influence of drugs at parties in Florida after becoming a member of Congress in 2017, according to the sources. According to a sworn written statement that has been obtained by the Ethics Committee, a woman says that in summer of 2017, when she was 20 years old, she attended a party in Florida that Gaetz also attended, which featured alcohol and drugs, including cocaine and MDMA. Sources familiar with the committee's work told ABC News. In the sworn statement, which has not been previously reported, the woman said that in addition to Gaetz, the party was attended by the then minor who was at the center of a years-long Justice Department investigation into accusations that the Florida congressman had sex with her when she was 17, according to sources. According to the statement provided to the committee, sources said the woman who made the statement, who ABC News is not identifying, said she saw the then minor naked at the party, which was also attended by adult men other than Gaetz, and that at the party there allegedly were bedrooms that were made available for sexual activities. Though the statement obtained by Congress references Gaetz, it was not written specifically to the Ethics Committee and is not primarily about the congressman, and the woman does not discuss whether or not she had knowledge of Gaetz's alleged sexual relations with the then minor, sources said. So the investigation continues, and that could lead to a George Santos situation where they try to expel Matt Gaetz. They're just not done with the investigation yet. But in the meantime, Kevin McCarthy has taken a new step to recruit a Republican primary challenger against Matt Gaetz, who's up for re-election this year like every member of the House. Gaetz already has a Democratic opponent. Good luck, Democrat, because that district is one of the most conservative red districts in the entire country. And so Democrats not going to win that seat. Not even against Matt Gaetz. No, it's been tried. A Democrat can't win that seat. But a Republican can. And McCarthy recruited a Republican to run against Gaetz. But there's one problem. Even though the Republican on the surface looks like he has an impressive background, when you look a little deeper, he looks, dare I say, a little progressive. The candidate's name is Aaron Dimmock, and he shares a treasure with American Patriots PAC, a group founded by allies of former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Aaron Dimmock has some interesting tweets. For example, he's made pro-BLM, pro-DEI posts while serving as a director at Chapman & Company, a firm which conducts workplace training. Dimmock shared a Chapman & Company post that said hashtag Black Lives Matter. We commit to audit every business process to ensure they reflect a culture of inclusion and serve nonprofits advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion. Check out some of the posts for yourself. Here's one on, looks like LinkedIn. It says, we remain committed to making it better. Hashtag leadership, hashtag inclusion. And he's reposting something from Chapman & Company Leadership Institute. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. I want diversity and inclusion to be a priority. I am making it one. Here's one where he tells his employees to join us today at 10 a.m. Because, as he's reposting, diversity without inclusion is like Hootie without the blowfish, Bob Marley without the Wailers, Earth and Wind without the Fire. Oh my goodness. Tom Petty without the Heartbreakers, Mumford without the Sons. Okay. Mr. Dimmock, we welcome you to the resistance. Pretty soon he'll be posting as part of Midas Mighty. But it is interesting that McCarthy is putting someone with that, pro-DEI, pro-Black Lives Matter, into the race against a right-wing MAGA Republican in a very conservative Republican district. So, hey, should be interesting. At the very least, it's going to keep Congressman Gaetz busy and have to spend money dealing with it, because if this guy is supported by McCarthy, he'll be well-funded. But I just would love to see how he responds to that in a Republican primary. Sounds like a decent general election candidate, right? Could pull from both sides, but in a primary, I don't know how you can win in that district. So here's how Gaetz responded. I'm excited to welcome Missouri-based DEI instructor Aaron Dimmock to the campaign. This is Trump country. Our pronouns are USA and MAGA. Gaetz told the caller, I'm a proud Trump Republican. I can't. That's all. But this MAGA civil war just continues to grow. Even though this candidate's not going to beat Matt Gaetz in a closed Republican primary, it does show that the inner MAGA feud ain't going away. And it's not going to be helpful to Donald Trump and the Republican Party, as November approaches. So stay tuned. I'm Dave Aronberg, aka the Florida Lawman, here on the MeidasTouch Network. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.